everybody, this is Grace. In this video, I'm going to talk about something that came up recently. It was past, I guess, a few months, a couple months maybe, and it made me think about what I had experienced repeatedly since probably sometime back in 2018, but mainly I would say since 2020, because before then I really wasn't doing this activity. Okay, and what it is when you say you know something's not right. This is about a service. You can think of any kind of service, and when I say you, I really don't mean you. It just makes the story brief, at least a little bit more. But think of like you are part of a you have this service, whatever kind of service that you need done. It could be anything from your car to your groceries to going to a doctor, whatever it is. And you need some service provided. Fix your car, your SUV, whatever. And after it happens, you think, something just wasn't right about that at all. You're not real sure. Maybe at that moment right then, you say, I'm never going back to them, I'm never going to use them again, or whatever it is. You make it firm right then that if something made you feel bad, if something made you feel like it just wasn't right, and you say, no more, not there. I can remember when I was like a teenager, and I went to a place to get the brake pads on my car, and I was by myself, and they came up with this huge cost. And I'm going to say this, it's been consistent when I go by myself or even go with other people to get back for many, many years. They would always say something like either $665 or $667. The cost, $665 or $667. Yeah. And some people, they just didn't believe me. And I can remember it happened up until, I don't know, more recent years. And now I have a new SUV, so I haven't had to go back. But there is something that's weird about it still. But anyway, but it was always that price, and people couldn't believe me. And so I started getting people to go with me. And one time it was when I went with a friend, and so she wouldn't have to deal with that, but that's what they said. But it was consistent. And I had one of my friends, she hit the floor. I mean, literally, she was laughing so hard. And she said, that's exactly what you said would happen, and it did. And the guy was looking at her, but yeah, it was that odd. It was that coincidental, but it was always that price. You're going in for breaks way back then. No, it should never be that. But they would try to find other things, other reasons why I, needed more work done on whatever I was driving at the time. And I remember Adam couldn't believe it either. He went with me and that woman and on, people who would go with me. Or like I said, I went with one woman so she wouldn't face it. They just found it so hard to believe. Well, it happens. Yeah, I think there was some kind of price that, like a script, some narcissistic or some kind of people like that. They follow like a script. So like if I went to another place in that town, they would say the same amount. You see what I'm saying? So it was a group effort. People you think you can get some money out of always say this amount. You get the picture, right? Now, that's not the only kind of thing that has happened in my life, but something more recent. Like I said, it's a service, and you're getting the service provided for whatever reason it could be. Also, like you're getting your cable installed, you're getting whatever installed, or whatever you're paying for. And you hear, these days you can get online, and you hear people online. Like that was an example of that wasn't online. It was in person. It was always the same thing. And it was very suspicious that for many years, I'm talking many years, that it was always the same amount. Either $665, $667. Guess what's in between? But anyway, and you like me, I said, well, if they say something like that, I'm out the door, bye-bye, go to some other place, But when you hear it consistently. And these days, like I was saying, you can see stuff like this happening online. And I've done videos about this kind of thing that you can see people, it's a form of like collective narcissism. That's a term that I've heard since, I don't know since when, collective or group narcissism, but it's often used for some other reason. But in this case, they protect one another. They provide a service or whatever. It doesn't have to be a service, but it's that like they have this view, and all their groups, the group, have the same kind of view on something, and the numbers of them, they can gang up on people. Okay, if every mechanic in town is going to quote you one of those prices, they're basically ganging up on you. Okay. Now, what I was saying, you can see online these days, and what I've made videos on, is people who, not all of them. Let's say, make sure that's a point. Not all of them, who make videos online talking about delivery services, like for groceries and or for meals you get at a restaurant. And that's been something that, of course, became more popular starting back last year here in 2020, more popular because of what's going on in the world today. And my voice is going out, so pardon me, I have allergies really bad. But, so like I'm saying, the people who actually do this are the ones I'm talking about, not the other ones that don't. Many, many, many don't. But the ones who have this kind of mindset are, in my view, trying to normalize narcissism, the normalization of narcissism, their narcissistic behaviors. I'm not diagnosing anybody with narcissistic personality disorder, but the behaviors. Okay, but the behaviors are more of this narcissistic kind of thing. And so you let me start back over here. You have a service provided. You feel something wasn't normal about it, and made you feel a little uneasy. And then finding out from other people that there's a pattern here, like that whole thing of 665 or 667. It could take years, and it could take a very short time. And then you start to realize that this is a gang. They're ganging up on you. Okay, and as far as these delivery services, the ones who do this, you put it up there, they're trying to say things like when you order through some of these services for like your groceries to be delivered to your home, and you don't have to see them, they don't have to see you, or some meal from various restaurants, they don't have to see you, you don't have to see them. But on many of these, I've used several of them, there's a tip. You can put the tip up front. The tip before the meals, before they even go out there to get whatever it is you're ordering. They can get, the tip is up there. They know what you're going to tip. I always had mine up there 20% before they even go do it. Now, those who are trying to do this normalization of narcissism, in my view, the collective of them, they say that if there's no tip up there, don't take the order. Only take the ones that you know that what the tip amount's going to be, and you already know you're going to get a tip. The other ones, don't take them. Just don't take them. They're trying to make it this collective thing going that all of them will say, I'm not going to take those, and then they come up with all kinds of reasons. Those who do this, not all of them do this, all kinds of reasons why you shouldn't take that tip. Personally, they're subcontractors, and if I was a contractor and owned a business and I saw people doing that, anything along that line, and then talking bad about the people who are actually paying, they would be out the door. Bye-bye, fired. Yeah. Now, anyway, so that they know, those who take the order know what their tip is going to be. Okay, 20%, 10%, whatever percent, or whatever amount. And they know that. What they're trying to say is that, this is a luxury, quote unquote, luxury service, but they're not providing. I've yet to see them providing a luxury service. I've seen a lot of people who say these things and do these things. A lot of complaining. A lot of that it's all about them, and that the customer needs to realize they must put up the tip, and it must be a good one, and they must, experience compassion, show them empathy, and pay them much more than what, they would normally pay for a tip, and up front. And no, not all of them deserve that. It had been, here it is. My experience was that when I would order through these, the ones for groceries, or something like groceries, my experience was, these are the ones that they actually go out and shop for. They do the shopping. The delivery gig worker would go shop for these things and bring it to my home, drop it at my home in the front door. And the tip's already up there, 20%. Plus all the rest of that I pay, the membership, the cost per item, the higher price for the groceries. And what they would do is that I would wind up with only about 70 to 75% of what groceries I ordered. Consistently. I don't think there was, I think one time, yeah, it was one time, it was something like 85%. In over a year. Okay. Yeah, I got rid of that. But I still have one. But what I've seen online is a lot of this about, that therefore they would do this anyway. So I saw all these things, these videos of people who were throwing out all this, this collective narcissism kind of thing, this high sense of entitlement. The delivery gig workers, not all of them do it, though those who did, high sense of entitlement. And of course, they probably heard somebody say that, so they turned it around on the customer has a high sense of entitlement. Let's think about that, logic behind that. If you're saying a customer is paying for a luxury service, then that customer is entitled to receive a luxury service. But they don't think that far. I don't know if they can even do it, to think in those terms, because it's not all about them. Okay, so sorry, I had to laugh because sometimes they don't know how to add 1 plus 1. But what I learned from listening to them was this. How about this is the possibility of why I kept getting only 70 to 75% of what I ordered. The ones who have to go shopping only found 70 to 75% of what I ordered consistently. I think it could possibly be. They see that tip is a good tip. 20% is a good tip, especially somebody who orders a good amount and all that they're earning from that. They see it, they grab it up. Oh, I want that order. I'm going to slide and get that order, punch or whatever. They get the order. No, I'm not really going to do all that shopping. I'm thinking tip. I see the tip, I see the amount. But no, that would mean I have to walk way over on the other side of the store. And people who are homemakers like me know where things are located in the store. Yeah, and can see that they're not wanting to walk all the way over the store. Or it could be an item that's it's so easy to find for some people. Okay? And I remember thinking too many times that these are obviously people who don't cook, or those who would get vegetables, fruits and vegetables that were growing something on them. Yeah, you didn't take your time. Or things that you could tell were old, like lemons and every once in a while I would buy some, I think I did one time and I said, forget it. Jalapeno peppers. Oh my gosh. Fresh jalapeno peppers. They had to be old. They had to get the worst ones they could find. But I don't think they took that much time. It's all about the money, so why are they going to take the time? That kind of mentality. Yeah, you should take the time. This luxury, see I'm doing these air quotes, service. But maybe that's a big possibility. They were just looking at the money. And, and I know they get paid per, from what I understand, what I've heard, I could be wrong on this, they get paid per item. But maybe some of it was so little that they don't really want to walk all the way across the store to get, like I just said, or go to the back of the store, or go to the other section in the store, especially if it's a big warehouse store. So they'll just pick up a few, 70 to 75%, maybe even less. And yeah, I'm going to wrap this up. Adam came out here and yeah, I'm going to go in. But think about it. If you were somebody who's that narcissistic, that who's that all about you, who's that much, oh, there's a tip and it's a good one, I'm going to take it. But I'm kind of lazy. And I don't want to do all that work. I just want that tip. And from what I've seen, seriously, because some of them, they're not the bad ones. I don't watch the bad ones. But, yeah, I stopped. Well, I can't say I don't totally. I don't keep my head in the sand on things. But some of the really nice ones and really good ones, they'll show how much they earn on this and how much they earn on that. And, yeah, I can figure out that tip that I would, have on there was big. And some of it was bigger than what they usually make. So if they have this kind of mentality, and that tip is more than what they usually make anyway, and they're lazy. I've consistently seen in my life people who have this narcissistic, histrionic blend of behaviors. They're lazy. They do things. They start a job. They don't finish a job. They're slackers, whatever you want to call them. But they're not going to do it completely. And they have an attitude like, I really don't have to either. But you better pay me. Yeah. Well, I think that could possibly be it. From watching some of these put out there that they deserve all this luxury. I mean, they don't, they deserve, if they're a luxury service, they deserve that luxury tip. Or do a luxury service. But it could very well be that this is what happens. So them putting out there about that like that, the customer's getting screwed again. Seriously. Now, I still have one of them. The other ones, I just said, forget the membership. I had too much trouble with them. They were not luxury services. In fact, they were like the most pathetic thing I've ever seen. Yeah. Late all the time, because some of them put out this. But anyway, late, I'll order something just down the road, 45 minutes later, an hour or something later, I finally get my order, and there is that tip. Because they have this whole mantra mentality about no tip, no trip. But no, my tip's up there. Yeah, they get around to it whenever they feel like. I actually saw one on the map where that person went. And that person went home and stayed home for a little while. Then finally went back and got my order. Yeah, that's not a luxury service. Not at all. Anyway, it's a pathetic. But hey, people getting those shots in the arms, more and more people, they've seen this service, they've seen how it worked. Some people actually, would, like me, run across this online and watch and see with the mentality of the ones that seem to like to think that they are representatives of the whole. They try to act that way, some of them. Well, bye-bye to your jobs or somebody else's, And, yeah. Because people have seen how crappy some of this is. They've got a good idea of what it is all about. Not everybody's stupid. Not everybody's going to fall for your con, your manipulation. And not everybody's silent about it. Enough for this video for now, or this topic for now. I'll talk to you on another video. Bye.